The 2026 World Cup has a secret second tournament. Nobody's talking about it. Not on TV, not in the news. But it's there hiding inside every fixture list, every flight across time zones, every muscle tear on the training ground. This tournament doesn't have a trophy. It has a body count. And the worst part? Some of the world's best players are going to lose this secret tournament before the first ball is even kicked at the World Cup. This is the calendar war. Here's the core conflict. Club football and country football are fighting for the same players, the same bodies, the same hamstrings. Clubs pay the wages. Clubs own the contracts. But countries have the prestige, the history, the World Cup. For decades, both sides found a balance. But FIFA just blew up that balance by expanding every single tournament in sight. And the players are the ones caught in the middle. Let's start with the biggest culprit, FIFA's new Club World Cup. Starting summer 2025, it's a 32-team monster. Every 4 years, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Flamengo, Al Hilal, the biggest clubs in the world. 7 matches if you reach the final. And here's the kicker, the players on these clubs are the same players who will be expected to lead their countries at the 2026 World Cup. There's your first problem. The European season is a machine that never stops. Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, League when they run from August to May. Then there are domestic cups, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, DFB Pokal, Coppa Italia. Then European competitions, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, plus international breaks, plus qualifiers, plus the Nations League. The European season doesn't have gaps anymore, it has speed bumps. Let's do the math. Premier League 38 matches, Champions League 13 if you reach the final, FA Cup 6, Carabao Cup 3. That's 60 right there. Now add the Club World Cup 7 more. Then the World Cup 7 more. Then pre-season friendlies, international friendlies, qualifiers. Suddenly you're at 80 plus matches in a single calendar year. That's nearly 1 match every 4 days, for an entire year. Professional athletes aren't built for this. But it gets worse. The math above assumes the season starts in August. It doesn't. Pre-season starts in July, touring Asia or the US, friendlies, commercial obligations. Then you've got World Cup qualifiers scattered throughout the season, international breaks where players fly halfway across the world, play 2 matches, fly back, and are expected to start for their club 48 hours later. The season doesn't start in August anymore. It starts the day the previous one ends. So what does 80 matches actually do to a human body? The studies are alarming. After 50 matches, injury risk doubles. After 60, it triples. After 70, you're playing on borrowed time. Muscles don't recover fully. Nervous systems stay in overdrive. Sleep quality plummets. Mental health deteriorates. We're not talking about being a bit tired. We're talking about accumulated physiological breakdown. The body literally starts falling apart. The 2025-26 season isn't like other seasons. It's the most congested in football history. Here's the sequence. Club World Cup July 2025, pre-season August 2025, European season August 2025 to May 2026, then straight into the World Cup June 2026. No winter break, no summer off, no gap anywhere. For elite players at top clubs who also qualified for the World Cup, this is an 11-month murder march, followed by a 7-match sprint. So picture this. A player finishes their club season in late May. Maybe they played a Champions League final. Maybe they won their league. Maybe they lost and are already devastated. 2 weeks later, they're on a plane to the World Cup. Their body hasn't recovered from 10 months of football. They haven't had a proper pre-season in 2 years. They arrive exhausted, jet-lagged, and are expected to play the most important matches of their lives within days. Fatigue isn't just feeling tired. Fatigue is the #1 predictor of non-contact injuries. Hamstring tears, ankle ruptures, groin strains. When muscles are exhausted, they don't fire properly. One wrong step, one explosive movement on a tired leg, and you're out for 6 months. The 2026 World Cup won't just have tired players, it will have injured players. Players whose bodies gave out because the calendar demanded more than flesh and bone can deliver. Not all players are equally at risk. The stars are in the most danger. The players who play every game for their club. The players their national team can't live without. Vinicius Jr. Holland, Mbappe, Bellingham. These guys are playing 50-plus matches before they even think about the World Cup. Meanwhile, squad players who rotate might arrive fresh. The irony is brutal. The most talented players, the ones everyone wants to see, are the ones most likely to break down. Here's the question nobody wants to ask. Will some players skip the World Cup? Not because they don't want to represent their country, because their bodies can't. We've already seen precursors players retiring from international duty early, citing physical and mental exhaustion. Zidane did it in 2006 after the final. But now we're talking about players in their prime, at their peak, choosing to stay home. The 2026 World Cup might be missing some of the biggest names in football. It's not just the players deciding. Clubs are actively pressuring their stars to skip international duty. Why would a club let their $200 million asset play 7 extra matches when they've already played 60? The club pays the wages. The club owns the medical report. And clubs are getting very creative with minor injuries that keep players out of international windows. The player becomes a bargaining chip between $2 billion organizations. This conflict is becoming a full-blown war. National team coaches demand their best players. Club coaches refuse to release them. You've got South American players flying 12 hours for World Cup qualifiers, playing on artificial pitches, then flying back and being benched by their club for rest. The relationship between FIFA, clubs, and national federations has never been more toxic, and everyone is pointing fingers at everyone else. This isn't hypothetical. We've seen it happen. Remember the 2022 World Cup in Qatar? Players arrived mid-season, some had played 25 matches already. We saw stars underperform, their legs gone, their sharpness missing. Before that, Euro 2020 was held in 2021 after a compressed club season. Injury rates spiked. Players like Eden Hazard, once unstoppable, saw their careers derailed by accumulated load. The warning signs have been there for years. So what does FIFA say? Officially, they're monitoring the situation. They formed a task force on player welfare. They point to the new calendar consultation process. Translation, nothing. FIFA is making billions from both expanded tournaments. The 2026 World Cup alone will generate over $11 billion. The Club World Cup adds more hundreds of millions. Player welfare is a line item on a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet says expanding is more profitable than protecting. Here's what might actually force change. The players are organizing. FIFPro, the Global Players Union, is taking legal action against FIFA. They've filed complaints about the calendar being imposed unilaterally. There's talk of strikes, of players refusing to play in expanded tournaments, of clubs forming a breakaway league. The moment elite players start saying no, the whole house of cards collapses. Because without the players, the billion-dollar machine produces nothing. So here's the truth. The 2026 World Cup will be magical. 48 nations, new stars being born, moments that make us fall in love with football all over again. But there's a second tournament happening beneath the surface, a war of attrition fought on tired legs and battered bodies. The players are the ones paying the price. And unless something changes, the best World Cup of all time might also be the one where the best players couldn't even show up. Subscribe to WC26 Matrix because the hidden tournament is the one that matters most.